Up next on the MARR Army Rock Show, joining us from San Diego, we have got Dan and Ricky from the band Pathology. They have just recently released the record Reborn to Kill. Dan, Ricky, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, man? Yeah, thanks for having us, dude.
Hey, so for our listeners that may not know the band just yet, give us a little bit of the biography, if you would, the history of the band, and then about each of your entry into the band, how you became part of the band.
Okay. It's an interesting story on my end. Should I go first here with this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It all happened for me. We joined about a year ago, I think.
Yeah, right around a year ago.
A little over a year.
It's been a little over a year, about a year and a half.
Yeah. And for me, like, actually, it just all happened through Facebook, out of the blue. Blew me away. Like, I just got a message from Dave, and he's like, "Hey, man, I need a guitarist." And, of course, I've been a huge Pathology fan for forever. And I saw that, and my jaw dropped. I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, seriously, And so I wrote him back immediately. I was all nervous and like shaking. Oh my god, what do I do? And it just kind of went from there. Like, Dave is super cool, and I think I recorded a video shortly after that. Playing one of the songs, and then we got together to jam, and now here we are. So. But yeah, after that, I think shortly after that, that's when I hit you up, yeah. And
it was through Facebook too, and Dan and I go way back for, at least probably 10 years, just being friends in the metal scene and being musicians and stuff like that. And Dan had messaged me. I hadn't talked to him in a few years, and I just recently saw he got in Pathology, so I was like, congratulations, really happy for you. And then he asked me if I was interested to play bass, and then it all went from there. Yeah.
Well, the modern world, right? It didn't. 20 years ago, it would have never happened that way. That you guys would find yourself in a band like this, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so what I tell people too is just like with the situation with me is like I play in Condemned as well. And I think we just got back from Europe, so I was posting, like stuff all the time about it. And Dave probably saw that. So kind of my point is, you never know who's watching. So keep up on your social media, because you never know, man. You never know. Totally.
So it looks like the video for The Beast Within is doing quite well. Tell me a little bit about the making of the video.
That was cool. Like, the guy that directed and produced that video had worked with Dave on a couple of the other music videos, and him and Dave were pretty good friends, and we decided to go with him again because he knows the band and knows about just doing music videos as well, and he was local in San Diego, which was cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was really fun. It was a really, really fun time.
Yeah, it was cool. Like, I think he did like the video for Tyrannical and maybe a couple others. Can't think of it off the top of my head, but yeah, he hooked us up with a good price and everything, and we're like, this was a no-brainer. We got to do it. So
yeah,
there it is. Yeah.
Now, for people that have never watched the making of a video, there's often many, many, many takes, and I wonder with a band with the intensity like yours, is it tough to keep up the intensity with no audience there for that long?
Absolutely, dude. Oh my god, that was extremely difficult, man. Honestly, we got some booze. I brought some Jägermeister.
That helps. Some Jaeger. That really helps. And some Red Bull.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did like 20 takes of it.
I think, God, I remember Obi was saying, he's just like, dude, he's like, we've done a lot of, touring and stuff like that. He's like, this is way harder than playing a show, and I'm just like, we felt like totally dead after that. But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So it looks like you guys had a pretty busy August touring. Why don't you let folks kind of recap what the August touring season was like, and let us know what you can tell us about maybe upcoming tours.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the tour was awesome. Pathology hadn't been back to the East Coast in a lot of years, and a lot of the fans were really excited and really wanting the East Coast dates. Last year and earlier in the year, when we were doing more of our West Coast kind of into the middle of the country runs, and it was really, really cool. Like, get over to Brooklyn and Boston and get up to Montreal and meet the Canadian fans. And it was a really good tour. The other bands like Narcotic Wasteland had one of the founding members in Niall, which is a legendary guy, and just to be able to hang out with him and be a part of like his new chapter, his new music was really cool experience.
Yeah, the nicest guys, man. It was super cool. And then every show we heard, people were coming out, oh my God, it's been like 10 years or something since I've seen Pathology, and it's so cool you guys put out a new album and that you're back doing this. And it's just like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, it was just great. Yeah, it was super cool.
And then part B of that, and maybe you can't talk about it yet, but can we hope to see another tour soon? Maybe somehow people that missed out on that, are you going to be around here, maybe overseas? What's up next?
Ooh, yeah, there's something in the works.
Yeah, there's a couple things in the works right now. There's definitely multiple tours that are in the works at the moment.
Yeah, overseas actually might be the next one. I think we're going to go back to Europe starting next year, possibly, I don't know if I can say this, but possibly January.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I know how that works, man, but at least maybe sparking some excitement from our international listeners there. So.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one. Like, this one is going to be like,
God, there's some serious bands on the bill.
Yeah,
and it's going to be really awesome.
Slam Fest for sure. It's going to be super sick. And then, I think some U.S. stuff is in the works after that. So we're just waiting, just waiting for all that to kind of formulate and come together.
Now, I can't recall if you guys were in the band at this time or not, but I saw that the band toured Mexico, and I know you're talking about Europe, and I think of Europe as like a death thrash metal place, but I don't really think of Mexico always. Were you guys in the band when you did Mexico, or had you not been there yet?
No, that was with the old members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounded like an epic show, though. Yeah, because I think Dave has a flyer of that one in our rehearsal space. And, we're like, holy shit. He's like, that was crazy.
Yeah.
So
we did do Colombia. Was it June? Yeah, it was in June. And it was awesome.
Yeah, it was in Bogota. So God damn, that was a life-changing experience, man. That was so much fun. Definitely one of the highlights of the year. It was sick.
Yeah, the death metal and just metal in general is really appreciated down south in South America and Mexico and Latin America, and it's really cool.
That's awesome, because I don't normally think of that when I think of their music down there, so that's really cool. I'm curious, with each of you, do you both have your roots in thrash metal, or do you come to us from a root of musically that might surprise us?
That's a good question. I mean, for me, I wouldn't say really thrash metal. Like, my old band was actually more like deathcore, melodic deathcore kind of stuff. Like Fury Never Fades was like my old band, and then I was in Lord of War for a while, and so that was dude, Ricky, you were in some fucking bands like that too, for sure.
Yeah, I come from like a deathcore background too. When I first started playing bass when I was like 17 or 18, I was just playing death metal stuff, and then I had a really good friend of mine that was kind of like into like Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan style stuff. So I went and played like blues and funk for a while, for a few years, and then I started playing in a band called Suffocate that was like a pretty big deathcore band, and then went from deathcore into Pathology.
Yeah.
And so we pretty much all have very similar tastes in music, and it's good to be like on the same level with, all of us are on the same level, like music wise, like what we like and what we listen to, and so it's awesome.
It was fun to bring those elements into the new record too when we were writing that. I mean, some of those songs we didn't expect. I mean, kind of like Pit of Bones and stuff like that. It was just kind of like, all right, this is a totally different style, but the riffs are cool, and let's see what can happen with it. And it turned out great. Like, that's one of my favorite songs. It's an awesome song. And then we got Trevor from Black Dahlia on it, which he fits perfect over that, with that style. And it was really cool how that came together.
It's crazy that Trevor was on the track.
Yeah,
growing up, like listening to Black Dahlia Murder and seeing him play.
Nicest guy too. Like, totally. I think like Dave or Obi asked him if he'd be interested, and he didn't even hesitate. He's like, yeah, it's done, no problem. So it's just like, well, okay. We thought it'd be a little bit more, more than that, but it was, so thank you, Trevor. Like, it was so cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, super cool.
Now, I've seen a lot of bands in the studio writing songs before, and but I've not been in the studio with like a death or thrash metal band writing, and I'd be curious what the process looks like. Like, I don't imagine someone sitting at a piano and, maybe doing some lyrics first. Talk me through what a session looks like in the studio when you're actually writing together.
Okay, I can tell you exactly how it went down. It was a little bit different process compared to at least for me, from our other bands. So how we did it is we would just get together at the rehearsal spot and just start riffing out. That's all it was. We just start making up stuff on the spot. And so we record the riffs on the computer, and then later Dave would arrange the song, arrange the riffs, and then it would just kind of turn out, as kind of a final product, So, I mean, some of the songs I did like would be almost to completion at home. But for the most part, it was just kind of riffing out on the spot, and it turned out way better than I expected. So
that's awesome.
It was a cool process. Yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, it was just a little bit different too, because it seems like a lot of other members of bands or stuff will write like their own like pre-production track themselves and bring it to the other band and stuff like that. And we just kind of came up with riffs, some of them at home, most of them at the rehearsal spot, and then just Dave arranged everything, and it came out great.
Yeah,
really cool.
It was cool, and it was cool to do it that way too, because you would do things like you wouldn't expect, like, oh man, I wouldn't even think that riff to go with this riff, and it really fits well. It's like, damn, okay, like it's cool how that all came together. So I'm looking forward to the next process, to the next album. Yeah, it's gonna be good now, because we got our feet wet with this one, and now we're gonna just get crazy.
Definitely, next album's gonna be insane.
Yeah, so it'll be a lot of fun.
So before I ask my next question, I got to ask this question: have both of you toured Europe previously with other bands? I assume, perhaps.
Yeah. Yes, we have.
So I assumed that. So my question is, tell me what tour life, how it's different on the road in Europe than it is here in the States.
Well, I can tell you first off, you're going to be on a nightliner, like a big tour bus. Haven't done that in America yet. And how that works is everybody in the tour package is on the tour bus, kind of splitting the cost of it and all that kind of stuff. And so that's one of the big differences.
Another big difference is every show is catering.
Yeah.
And so there's always food spreads and tons of beer and tons of refreshments, and there's definitely some venues in the U.S. definitely do that for sure. It's just different because every show in Europe you get there and they're feeding you sandwiches, and then they have dinner and all this,
and all the beer you can drink. Out here we get a couple Pabst Blue Ribbon. Enjoy yourself, man. It's oh, thanks. Cool. Here's a Little Caesars for you. So it's not bad in Europe. Just saying. We love it over there.
Europe is awesome to tour. It's great.
Yeah, it's wild.
And a lot of kids too, which I've noticed in Europe. They'll tell us they've driven hours from other cities just to come watch a show. Yeah. And it's I don't run into too many people in the U.S. at the shows that drive 4, 5, 6 hours to come and see a show. And in Europe, people do that all the time.
All the time. Yeah. It's way different in that aspect, which is cool. It's just wow, that's dedication. Thank you. So it's cool to be over there, experience that for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, hey guys, it's been great talking to you. The record Reborn to Kill is out right now, and the band is Pathology. We've been talking with Ricky and Dan. Guys, I really appreciate you taking the time with us today, and congratulations on a great new release.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Man. Thanks for having us and doing this. That was actually really